Hi Alan, thanks for the footage and thanks also for purchasing the package of online lessons. Before we move on to the swing itself, what I'd like to do is just go over a few changes that I feel you need to make in your setup position in order to swing the club in a more efficient and powerful manner. The first thing I'd like you to do is move the weight forward. We're going to see some comparisons here between Troy Mattison, Mike Bennett and yourself. From face on and down the line. The first thing I'm noticing with yourself is when viewed from face on is the weight really is pretty evenly distributed, if anything favouring the right hand side slightly. What we're seeing here with Troy is approximately 75, 81 maybe percent of his weight favouring his left side. When the weight's more forward, that positions both the upper and lower centre of gravity out in front of the golf ball, making the control of the low point of the swing and also the path of the golf club more consistent and easier to police. What we see with yourself is a situation where the lower centre of gravity and the upper centre of gravity are just ever so slightly behind the golf ball, which is making it possible for you to on occasion strike behind the ball. I would imagine a little bit thin rather than being heavy, but certainly get some more weight onto that lead foot. I would like to see you feeling that you've got maybe 65% of your weight on your lead foot to start with. The other thing I'd also like to do is I'd like to get you to turn your feet out more. We're going to prescribe that both feet be turned out maybe 20 degrees. You can see here with Troy, both feet turned out, a little bit more of a sort of 10 to 2 position on the clock face with your feet. That's going to move the knees out also, make it easier for you to then turn the hips and in return make a bigger shoulder turn, leading to more power. And then when viewed from down the line, what I'd like to see is a change in your posture. You can see there that you're very much back on your heels. There's not a great distance between you and the golf club at address. Hips are quite level, arms are very much under the shoulders. What we see here with Mike Bennett is the arms are under the shoulders, but there's a little bit more room between the club and his torso, and the hips are tilted down on a much better angle. The feeling that you're almost reaching for the golf ball and the body weight is positioned more towards the balls of the feet. If I just extend that line up, you're going to see how he's balanced either side of that line. If I take the same line up from your foot position, the ball of your foot, you can see that there's a substantial amount behind the line, but not a great deal in front of the line, so your balance is compromised at that point. In regards to your grip, I would have both hands just a touch stronger. If I magnify your grip for you there, you can see that both thumbs are sort of on top of the grip. I'd like to see you a little bit more like we see with Troy, where both thumbs are rotated over to the right, maybe 10-15 degrees. Again, just to present a truer loft on the club face, make it easier for you to flight the ball strong, and also a little bit easier to get the club square to the path or slightly close to the path as we improve that as well. So to summarise it, set up more weight forward, feet turned out, stronger grip, and then give yourself a little bit more room. Now all those changes that you've made at setup are also going to have a knock-on effect in the golf swing. Once we get the weight forward and the feet turned out and a little bit more room and a slightly stronger grip, then what we can start to do now is improve our ability to turn the shoulders on a tilted angle. We should be turning the shoulders at 90 degrees to the inclination to the ground at setup if we want to keep the axis of the shoulder turn stable when viewed from both face on and down the line. And what we're going to see here as your swing progresses, particularly from face on, you're going to see a lift as you go back. It's a bit of a translation off the ball as well, which is to do with your weight shift and your foot position. But that left shoulder works quite level. When we view it from down the line, you're going to see that the left shoulder works up rather than down. And that left shoulder working up creates a sort of jack in a box effect, and you can lose you can see there that you lose your inclination to the ground, and the club gets rolled behind you. If we watch what Troy Mattison and Mike Bennett are doing, first of all, if we put the line on Troy's head there, we're not going to see a tremendous lift during the backswing. You can see that he's maintaining his height, the left shoulder working down more. And what we're going to see with Mike is a player whose shoulders turn at 90 degrees to their inclination to the ground, and as a result can maintain the forward tilt that is established at address. You see the difference in the left shoulder, they're working down for longer. So obviously I want you to make quite a few. This first session I want you to concentrate a lot on your setup, and then we're going to change that first move away. So if I was to categorise Mike's swing there, the first thing I would say is that the left shoulder works down. Same again if we look at Troy Mattison's swing. From setup to what we call P2, when the shaft's parallel to the ground in the backswing, left shoulder working down. And what I'm seeing with yourself is a player's left shoulder working across, and then when viewed from down the line, a left shoulder that works up. Straight away the inclination is lost, and the axis cannot be made stable throughout the swing. Remember, that's what we're trying to do within stack and tilt. We're trying to swing around a fixed axis. We don't want it moving forward, we don't want it moving down, and we don't want it moving up and back. It's a fixed point. So as we said, weight forward, feet out, stronger grip, give yourself a little bit more room. That's going to make it then easier for you to get your left shoulder to work down for longer. The movement I'd like to see you work predominantly on between now and when we get the next lot of footage is from setup to waist level. Really work on that left shoulder's got to continue working down, ideally until the arms get to about chest height. So really concentrate on the left shoulder working down towards the ball. Remember what we're trying to do, we're trying to turn the shoulders on a tilted angle. I feel that once you make the setup changes, this is going to be much easier to achieve, and like with most things, once you change one piece, other pieces start to change as a consequence. Good luck to it, and I look forward to charting your progress as your sessions go on. Well done.